Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of City Skylines with me, CityZilla, and in today's episode we are going to be building out our second downtown. We've been kind of talking about it for a while and actually gotten quite a few comments on the need for tourism related to our airport, and so I'm actually super excited about it. And so this is going to be different from our other downtown in that this downtown is more business focused, and so this would be where you had your banks or your high-rise corporations. There are still residential in there, but this would be more of your primary downtown. And what I'm thinking for this guy is more of like a Miami Beach kind of look. We're going to do high-rise condos. We're going to do a lot of hotels, a lot of leisure buildings. And I have some really cool ideas that I'm excited to dive into. But first, I wanted to look at our traffic again. That was kind of a prevailing issue of the last episode. And so now we are way up at 88%. I did get a suggestion to turn off individual driving styles, which I did. And I also went into policies and turned off may turn on right red, because another thing that was still happening right here is we were getting a really long backup here, and it was due to cars turning right when this way had a green. And so it was kind of blocking them, and it was just a major issue we were having. Another big thing that I did, I went into Traffic Manager into the timed traffic lights, and I increased the wait time. So if we go stop and then to edit, I went ahead and increased the max time to 12. And what that does is it tells the time traffic light that if there are cars, it can remain open until I believe 12 seconds. And so it just gives a little more room for cars to be able to get through. And so the goal is you want to get all the cars to be able to go through the traffic light at one time. And so that's really the goal here. And so we are allowing all the cars to go through, which is fantastic. And it's kind of funny, our traffic is at 86%. I think this is like the highest I've had it in a long time, because I still do have despawning off. And so it really all comes down to your road layouts. And I think having that underground road has really helped to kind of split up the traffic. And so we are going to dive in. First thing we need to do, we need to jump in this guy and purchase this square, purchase that guy. Where's our next unlock? So we 60,000. So we're not super close, but we're also not like really, really far away. And so first thing I want to do, we are going to jump in here and go into this guy and remove all these trees. We are going to go and do our own landscaping, and so it's really not necessary to have these guys right now. I think we'll go ahead and remove those two. And then I'm going to jump in here, and because I know there are a bajillion rocks in here, we're going to delete those guys too. We have a shipwreck down here. I don't really want to delete that guy. But all these rocks just end up getting buried under the roads, and so it can help your performance out a little bit to just remove them. And so we are going to get a little crazy with this because we're kind of on a hill right here. I really want to do some layers. So what I'm thinking is we'll do a layer for the beach, and then we'll do a layer just above the beach with a key wall, and we'll probably make that layer a little bit bigger, not huge, just enough for us to put like a row of hotels. And then I have a pretty cool idea for some water features, but then we will do another layer, and this layer will actually be pretty big, probably most of this space. And then we will do a top layer up here, and we're going to put retaining walls in to kind of create that look with the key walls. And I think it's going to come out really good. And so my goal is for our beach level to go, not that tool, to go pause the game like right about here. And then we are going to just level this guy out. I think this is probably way too big. Yeah, there we go. We did kind of extend the beach a little bit further, and it has this drop off now, which kind of sucks, but it does happen at beaches, so I don't think it's the end of the world. I think we will turn this guy in. We'll soften that. And then what I want to do is create a second layer. And I want this second layer to be pretty shallow. And we're going to jump into key walls. Now I want to use this key wall with the stairs. I had gotten a suggestion from Joy Build Cities. If you guys haven't checked out her series, it's really great. But she had mentioned using these stairs in the builds, and I haven't really done them. Because another creator I recently saw using them was Few Candy. She did it in her university. Again, awesome build. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely worth it. We're going to put the key wall right here. I just kind of need to identify where it's at. So we'll go like, I think it's like right about there. You know what? That actually doesn't look terrible. And I like that it's one long curve. It adds to a little more symmetry here. And then so now what we're going to do is we are going to go in here and then level to this guy. Yeah, there we go. This is what I was looking for. I like that the stairs actually land into the sand. This is something that you definitely see on beaches. I think it just looks really cool. It adds to a little more of a realism effect here. I think we are going to drop this guy down line. All right, and so now that we have that, what I want to do before we do anything else is actually draw out our little network here. And so I want to come in here. We're going to go to a 4-lane road. Probably a nice one. I think this one with trees in the middle is pretty nice. And then I'm just going to follow around the outside. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty good. And then we'll probably come through here and change these to palm trees. It is a little different in some of the areas, but I think it looks good. I really like how the stairs go into the water like that. I think that is just such a cool look. And so now we are going to get a little crazy before we dive into this bigger scheme of things. And it's just because of the space that I need. So what I want to do is create a little bit of a water feature where we are able to fit key walls on both sides. I think it's going to be super important. So I want to come down here, go like this. And we'll probably just make it this wide. I think that'll be fair. Yeah, I think that'll be good. And we probably won't make the water feature actually this wide. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to use the key wall with fence here, and I'm just going to follow the road basically. And there we go. I think it looks good. And then we will probably just curve it around. I don't know how I feel about having it curved, but I think it may look good. Maybe if we, yeah, go like that. I think that'll probably be good. I don't know if I want it that thick though, so I think we will try our best to put this as thin as possible. And the reason is because a lot of times when you see these, it's not like massive, but because I want to be able to put buildings on the other side. The problem though is if you get the key walls too close, they tend to act really weird. And voila, I think it's a little bit wider than I was initially planning, but I think it's going to be good. It's going to look good, and this is really just about adding in the water feature. A lot of times you see these in like really nice areas, and that's kind of what I was going for here. So I'm just going to level out the middle section now. And then I'm going to just jump into water structures and fill this guy up. All right, and there we go. Looks pretty good. We are going to come in here and change some of these to with the surface painter. And so now all I want to do is draw in a road on the back side, and I want to make sure that it's flat first. So I'm going to come into the level terrain tool, and we're going to choose a height. It does look like that's like a really weird height right there. Just going to grab these guys and raise them up. Yeah, there we go. That should be good. And so we will come in here, choose this height, come back here, and we are going to need to draw this out a little bit. Not a lot, just enough. And so now what we're going to do, we're going to jump in here to a little 2-lane road, and we'll probably choose this guy. And then we are going to build this guy out about like right there. And there we go. It looks pretty good. It is a little bendy right there, but I think it is okay. And so now I just want to make sure that we have 4 squares of zoning. It looks like we do. And then I want to create some bridges across. We'll probably do 1, 2, 3 bridges. And so we will pause the game because we're going to really mess up some stuff. We're going to delete this guy, delete that guy. We're going to come in here to our little 2-lane road. Go like this, connect that up. And then we will probably come more like right here, do the same thing, delete, delete, bam, look at that. I really like the look of it. This was really what I was going for here. I wanted to get these little bridges in. I think maybe even if we upgrade these, let's see though. All right, so I think we're gonna go ahead and choose this one with the 4 lanes, just because it's gonna provide those 2 turn lanes. It's gonna be super good, but then it also just looks a little cleaner. And so now what I'm gonna do is jump in and just move these key walls in to get them a little flush with this guy. And voila, there we go. Looks pretty good. I tried to make them a little flush because they are paths. They are going to have a little bit of an issue, but I think they look good. These ones aren't really as functional, but I think what we'll do is we'll come in here and we're just going to add in some paths in here because if we can get people to use these, it would obviously be much better. All right, and there we go. So I went ahead and added in a few more paths. I think we're going to cut some in here as well, because this would really be one of the main reasons that you would come here, is because it has this nice little area for you to walk around. I mean, obviously the ocean's right there too, but this would just be really nice. And so now what I want to do is jump into Surface Painter, and we are just going to go ahead and turn this whole front side into concrete, and then we're going to come back and kind of clean it up a little bit, because I just want this pier to be concrete. There's sand down there for people to go down. This would just be like a nice area for people. And there we go. Looks really clean. And I think we may even put some little shops and stuff down here, because we have one square of zoning. So I think if we do one little square of leisure, we'll get like some little stalls and stuff, and it'll look really cool. So I want to come in here, and we will paint this guy as one district. And if you guys want to come up with any cool names like tourist, rock related, something like that, just let me know, and then we will paint this guy as one. This will be like our waterfront park district. And there we go. And so I think that is pretty good. We are now going to worry about our grand scheme. And so I do want to try and follow this same kind of curvature that we got going on. So I think what we'll do is we will continue on this road. I believe it was that road that we're selected on right now. So we will go to the freeform tool, and we will turn back on snapping. I think that's probably about good. It looks like that would follow the same curve, but then it allows us some room to be able to go up top. We do need to connect this up, and so what we'll do is draw in this next key wall, and we're just going to follow this across. All right, and so I finished this key wall. I went ahead and shifted this key wall a little bit further out, as I feel like it's just going to give us a little more room to be able to do some leisure. And then I think what we're going to do is we will extend the water out this way, just because it's going to create some more uniformity over here. I think it's going to look a lot better. All right, and there we go. After watching it flood for quite a while, the water got stuck in this little pocket, and I actually had to step away for a minute. It looks good though. The key wall being separated, I think, was a good idea. We're not going to zone this all in as leisures. I don't think doing that would be smart traffic wise, but I think we will end up doing a lot of it. And so now what I want to do is jump in here, and we are just going to connect up these roads. We could curve them. I think curving them would probably be good. Yeah, there we go. That looks much better. This one still looks a little better, I think, just because of this node. I think if we just shift this guy over. Yeah, there we go. You know what? I actually really like it, and I want to just add in some more little paths in here, and then let's go ahead and connect this to the outside world, as that would be pretty important. And so we have this ledge. We will end up probably terminating this key wall right here, and then we can create a little space down there, maybe for some services or something. And so we'll jump back into the level terrain tool, and let's start figuring out our next layer. So I think for this one, we will end up creating quite a big space. And so my goal is to create another ledge, but nothing that wouldn't be super unrealistic for us to have. And so we'll probably go like right there, maybe. I would like to actually follow the curve a little bit. So maybe we'll go like right there. It still follows the curve a little bit, but it opens up more, which I think is good. And so let's see how far away from the actual road height we are from here. Oh, we're actually level. That's great. And so we can come in here now, and that looks really good. And then I think we will end up turning this rail line into a bridge piece. And so let's go in here, as it's level with it. And so, or it's level with this. It has to kind of go uphill anyways. And so I think we will go ahead and do that. And that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and see if we can get that slope a little better. So we'll go like this, come up here, go like this. Just makes it a little better. We could even probably, I think we'll actually raise it up even more. So let's go like that. And it's just going to make it so that we can put roads underneath it, and then the rail line actually doesn't have to go all the way down that hill, which would be good. And then we do need to hook up this rail line going the opposite direction, so I want to go ahead and do that before we start getting a little crazy with this. And so I want to bring this back just a little bit. We'll probably go like right there, and then we will begin to swoop it down. Go go like that, and then we'll go like that. There you go. And then we will jump into the slope train tool just to level this guy out. Go like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. And it looks like it is not super level. I think we're going to just increase this a little bit just so that we can get it the same height as that. And that looks good. I just didn't want to have that tear in there. I think it would look a little weird. Having this immediately slope down kind of sucks too, but it's just because of the hill. And so my idea is we're going to do another small warehouse district right here because commercial zoned goods are going to be an issue for us. And so I want to, first off, I'm going to finish this key wall and then we'll do another key wall around. All right, so I think that is it. I ended up I wanted to keep some curves, so I kept this whole curve idea. I didn't finish these key walls yet as I'm not really sure what we're going to do with them. But then this road ended up in the ground a little bit, and so I think we may come through here and shift this up. It's mostly just because of the elevation change, and so a part of me wanted to keep it like that, but then another part of me thought that it was just a bad idea. And so I think what we'll do is we'll actually just go into our slope tool and then just hit this guy. Come back here. Yeah, there we go. I think that looks good. And then so we're gonna do some residential. So we need to come up with a road layout. We are kind of limited on space over here, so I think what I'll do is finish these key walls real fast. All right, and so now what I want to do is get our outside connections. So we have a couple 6 lanes. We have this 6 lane with the bike avenue that I think is just going to be great for this area. And I think we may end up moving this other road further back. I don't really like how close that connection is, but I think we'll keep it like that for right now. And then I do want to provide a few other connections as well. This whole area is going to generate a ton of traffic, and so we really want to be careful with this. All right, and here we go. So we have 3 main connections. We have this underground tunnel connection that leads into another arterial that actually goes all the way down to our freeway. But then we also have another tunnel connection over here, which actually leads to this underground tunnel that goes to another freeway connection. I think as we expand this area, we will probably do a little trumpet interchange that leads up here and then terminates into the downtown. Because as of right now, this access is not great. Having this avenue here is definitely going to help. We do have great access getting into the area. It's just there's a few bottlenecks to leave. And so I'm a little bit concerned. But for right now, I think we're good. And we may have to adjust some stuff, but I think I'm going to come in and just copy that same other road. So I want this road to be along the key wall like that. And then we will have this guy terminate up. And then I will copy this on this side. I don't know if we're going to follow that same pattern. We may just go like that. I think that looks good. And so we need to figure out, we need to terminate this guy too. Yeah, there you go. That looks good. And so now we have a nice little forward connection too, which would be good. And so now what I want to do is figure out a couple more arterials. This area over here looks pretty good, but this section right here would need another road. And so I think we will end up doing another 4 lane. Maybe we'll even branch off from this little bridge guy. I think that could be good. Yeah, there we go. I don't super like it, but I think it's going to serve our purpose. And that's really what I'm trying to go for here. I'm just trying to create access, because especially with a tourism area, the chance of us having traffic back here is super high. We are going to set up mass transit though, and we're now in a position where we could do a ferry line back here. Having that dam there has really prevented our ferries from getting back there, but I think this is going to be good. And then we're going to end up setting up tram access too, and we'll probably set up some other stuff. I think building a bridge right here would also be good, and so I think we will go ahead and do that. This is going to provide some really good access for this area. Let's go ahead and look at that. That's just because there's a pillar literally right on top of it. So we'll go like that. And there we go. And so now we have provided access to a freeway connection over here as well, but then also another arterial that leads into this downtown. And I like that it's a 3-way connection. I think that that's going to really help us out right there. And so now let's go like this. And so what we're going to do, we're probably going to break this up into multiple episodes because we definitely have some issues here. We need some residents. We're going to need to set up those warehouses. We have a lot of stuff that we want to do, but first off, I want to at least get our little tourism section set up. And so we're going to go down here, and I think we are going to do a little offshoot road. So we'll go like this, and I would prefer, well, you know what? Maybe we can get away with just curving it right now. Yeah, there we go. So I ended up putting in a little service center, nothing too crazy, but enough to at least cover this downtown area. And then now what I want to do is just start zoning it in and do some water pipes and electricity, and then we should be able to hit play. All right, so I went ahead and started off with some basic zoning. So for the leisure, I went off really small just because we don't have a huge demand for commercial right now. And if you overzone this, like with the tourism, I kind of overzoned it a little bit. We're definitely going to have some issues with goods and then also with not enough workers. And so before we hit play, I really want to come over here and do our goods warehouse. And so I want to connect it up with our road. And so I want to try to find a good location for us to do a crossing. It actually looks like this is raised up, so maybe we could even just bridge it across right here. Yeah, look at that. That actually works. And just because this is seriously going to become such a big problem for us if we don't pay attention to this. Yeah, there we go. That actually looks pretty good. And it connects up really easy. This slope over here isn't bad because it's already raised up a little bit, and it provides another access point for over here. But then what we're going to do is create just a small cargo hub and then warehouse district. Nothing too intense, just something to where we can receive cargo from within the city, commercial zoned goods, and then place down some warehouses to store those goods. And so, yeah, there we go. That actually looks pretty good. And I finagled the bridge a little bit to try to make it a little more realistic. For some reason, they just always are really low, even though the game says that it's not going to hit. I just don't like it being next to those wires. Yeah, there we go. That bridge looks good. And then now we are at a little bit better of a slope for that. And we have some pretty good access here. And so let's jump back into our industrial road, and I'm just going to connect up this connection, and I think we will end up bringing this forward and then probably connecting it. I don't want it right above that tunnel, so we'll probably go like right here. You know what? That actually looks pretty good right there. It's kind of an interesting shape, but it's going to work for our purpose. And so we're going to turn these around since this is a one-way, and then let's go ahead and look at our warehouses so we know we really only need the one. So maybe we'll just put in a big guy. It's so funny, we put the rope backwards. This would create some issues, as I mean, it would still work. The thing though is the opening is on the right, and so they would have to cross over the cars leaving. I did anarchy in the warehouse, but I think it looks okay. It actually doesn't look okay. This looks pretty bad. I thought for a second, that it would look okay, but no, this looks pretty terrible. I'm gonna go ahead and move this guy. Yeah, there we go. It actually looks really good. And then I think we'll probably end up leaving this empty. We really don't have any need for it right now, but maybe in the future we will get some industrial in over here. That could be good. Just a small little industrial park. Right now we don't really have any need for it, but I think this would be good. So then we're going to come down here, go to commercial zoned goods, and then go to fill, and then make sure these guys have water. Man, and I really want to try to do something with this. I think we'll end up putting a little fence around this guy. And so let's go in here, go like this, jump into our new favorite fence. All right, and that looks really good. And, this definitely leaves some room open for us to be able to do just a ton of stuff over here, but I think that's good now. And so I think we can unpause it. Fingers crossed. Let's see if we break anything. We should really get a lot of residents in here. While we're waiting for that to grow, what I want to do is create a little shopping center right here. So I think we're going to jump into a 4-lane road, and we're just going to probably connect that up like that. I think that's good. And then what I want to do is put our schooling in here. All right, and there we go. Man, it is coming together really well. Let's go ahead and look at our transit hub. Also does look like we need to hook this guy up with electricity. Man, this is like such a thing for me. And I normally check right away. I think, so we got water and we got this guy going. He's hooked up to electricity now, which is fantastic. He should be. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. And so this guy ideally should start importing commercial goods, and I'm hoping that we just don't run into any commercial good issues but we're just going to have to wait and see. You know, it's so funny. We didn't put the designations for this either. So we're going to come in here and we're going to do leisure for this. And then we're going to do tourism for this. And let's go ahead and brush this over. Let's come down here. And then I want to do a park up here too. So let's go ahead and unpause that so we can let all those buildings vacate in anger. And come over here, paint park district. So we're going to literally paint this entire section of park. Because I want to be able to put in like the little skate park, the volleyball courts and stuff like that. And really just kind of make it look cool. But already, I mean, we're looking pretty good. I think we may even, while we're demolishing stuff, let's go ahead and make this self-sufficient up here. Because I think this is another area where these would just look really good. We'll probably end up turning this whole middle section into self-sufficient. And then we can leave self-sufficient up top. Maybe that front row will do self-sufficient. Yeah, I think that'll be good. And we'll come in here, go like this. Perfect. Unpause, let all these people leave in anger once again. I'm sorry. I know the city planner is just terrible. Let's go ahead and set up our priorities. So looks like this road is going to be a main through road. So let's go ahead and hold shift on this guy. It goes all the way around, which is great. And then let's set up our lane arrows. So we'll come over here, go just Control Shift click all the corners, and it just makes it so that you don't have those straight ons and those turns in the same lane, because the game kind of has a hard time with those. And so go like this, go like that. Man, we actually got some really good access for this area. In my testing, this was like the biggest issue. I was like, man, I just want to make sure that we're not going to have any issues. And so I think that's probably good for right now. We still can do some more if we need to, but it looks like this road right here is probably going to be our main access point for this area. All right, well, we lost all our little lovely commercial down here, but we will get it back in just a second once all these guys grow up. And so now what I want to do is just start doing some more neighborhoods, and I want to follow a similar pattern for this. This was a really nice design, and I really liked it, even though it looks like it all recently burned once again. But I want to do that for this middle section. I think it's just going to look really good if we can capture something really nice in here. But I'm going to let the game run for a second, let it catch up to this and our demand, and see if we can bounce back real fast. All right, so I let it run for a little bit. It looks like we got 3 or 4 whole buildings. It looks like this guy is on fire. And was he on fire? Maybe not. Maybe it was just steam. But looks like we got another one that just popped up. It should be good. We normally don't want to let our commercial demand drop that low, and so I think something that may help us out is if we can place a unique building in here. So I think we're going to go ahead and try to place a couple of these small little statues. All right, so I ended up plopping down the Lazarat Plaza, and it actually looks really cool right there. Blends in really well. And then now what I want to do is jump in here and use some of the tourism and leisure park assets. And not all of these will work, as our water is kind of a little far away, but we do need to do a main gate for our park. So I think we're going to go ahead and put it in over here. I think that would be good. We could even put it right there. It's kind of a weird location, but we'll go ahead and put it right there. It's kind of at the entrance, and then it even connects up right here. I'm not going to charge to actually get into this park because it's a beach. I think it would be kind of weird to charge for it. But all right, so we got our main gate in there, and so now what I want to do is just go in here, and I think we're just going to place down some of these beach volleyballs. Yeah, there we go. And then we just need to hook up paths to these guys. This is our little volleyball court. And then I normally don't like doing too many paths down these guys. I think we will end up having to figure out a way to get power out to these. I think we'll end up using the little power boxes, because right now these power lines just look terrible. So I'm going to go ahead and pause, delete these guys, and then I'm just going to do some paths, and then I'm going to finish decorating a lot of these little intersections so that we can just make it look a little better. All right, and there we go. I think it looks really good. I kind of wish that the commercial would go a little faster, but I think this could end up taking a little while just because our commercial demand is really low at the moment, and our residential demand is really high. And so I want to come over here and look at our airport now. Yeah, look at that. So we are already up to 48% incoming for the airport, which is just fantastic. And so while we're over here, I want to jump into our buses and do a little bus line from here all the way down to our little tourism area. This is really what we're trying to get going. We're trying to get people to come in. We'll go ahead and add it over here too, just because there is no transportation over here just yet. We're going to end up doing some trams, but I think that would be good. And so now there's pretty much mass transit for the whole area. They just have to transfer at the airport. For our little school, I decided to use this parking lot road with this diagonal parking. I think it looks really cool. This is part of the square parking lot collections. I'll go ahead and update my mod list with this. I think it just looks really cool. It's like almost like a Main Street parking, but it worked really well for our schools. And then, so on the next episode, what we're going to do is build out a huge residential right here, and then probably some more residential right here, probably some commercial and offices. And then up here, we'll probably do some more residential and then some more offices. I want to put in a stadium over here, and I want to probably put in maybe the Opera House or the Modern Art Museum. This is really a good opportunity for us to start incorporating some of the nicer, bigger, unique buildings, especially with it being a downtown. This would be a good spot for it. This location right here actually looks like it would be great for the Modern Art Museum. But those are things that are just going to help us kind of boost our tourism. So let's go ahead and look at our tourism tab. So we are at a 66% tourist attractiveness, which is actually pretty high. Our libraries count as tourism spots. We got these parks, and it looks like our mass transit is tourism centric as well. Our whole university pretty much. We do have the high-tech buildings, which are really good. And parks normally are pretty good. Yeah, our whole park is pretty good. It does look like, oh, that's the parking garage. So I think we only have a couple unique buildings right now. We have the Winter Market, the Ferris wheel, and then we have the museum and then the Posh Mall. And I think that's, about it. So we definitely need to expand. We are looking pretty good on our tourist attractiveness. 66% is not bad. We don't really have a lot of exchange students, but we really only have one university at this moment, and we are definitely having some issues with it. One of the things that I had identified we could do is go in here and hit boost education. And this would be something that you'd probably see in these neighborhoods as well, since they are in the surrounding area. And so I want to find this guy now. Yeah, it is right there. All right, so then we'll come in here, do the same thing, boost education. And then we'll come up here. We did that one, and we want to do our little district down here. And there you go. And then now that we have this area, what I want to do for a global policy, I want to jump in here and I want to do in city planning, educate or boost connections. And what this does is outside connections in the area can handle more vehicles carrying tourists, increasing the amount of visitors in the city. Outside connection traffic capacity is increased by 20%, applies to boats, planes, trains, and private cars. It costs $10,000 a week, so it's pretty expensive. But we're going to see. We're making really good money, and so I'm not super worried about that. And we are almost to a place where we could hit this industrial 4.0, and I think it would be good. We're going to hit encourage biking though too. We really haven't done any of these book fairs because we do have quite a few libraries. Let's dive into our road maintenance and park maintenance. So road maintenance, we don't have any road maintenance depots. I don't even know how we got away with this. So I think we're going to go ahead and place one of these guys over here. We'll go like that. And let's go ahead, we'll put one over here too, since this is kind of an industrious area. We'll go like that. And then let's go ahead and place one over here too. We'll go like that, just because we can. But then, where was the park guy? So I think it's in here. If we go to, maintenance. So park maintenance, we don't have any park maintenance either. These are, oh man, I can't even believe we don't have these. These are huge deals. And it does look like this guy is a little bit bigger, of course. Let's go ahead and we're going to build a little road off this guy. Yeah, look at that. And these guys actually drive around to all the little parks and boost the land value and everything. Same with the road maintenance. They help out with your roads to run faster, and they are really good to have within the city. I believe the park maintenance, you only need one. No, it does look like we will need two at some point. Maybe we'll put one over here in this little empty space that we got. We could do a road maintenance over here too. Let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll put some post offices over here too. I don't really want to just throw in random buildings. I want them to still kind of look good, so I think that looks okay. This entrance over here wouldn't really matter. I think we're going to shift this just a little bit. Yeah, that looks better. And this looks pretty good there too. And then let's just put in a post office. Man, we haven't really focused on post in a while. We have some serious issues with post. So maybe we'll go like that. Maybe we will come over here. We have a little service complex right there. We have our post sorting facility over here, but it still looks like this area is suffering for some weird reason. I always forget about post offices. This is just something that pretty much every map I do, I end up having to place down just a bajillion post offices all at once. And so that should ideally help out quite a bit more. I think we'll end up checking this on the next one because we do have quite a bit of red. But the post offices help to increase land value, which will help us to get more residents and really help the city out as a whole. Our land value is doing pretty good, and this is already starting to climb down here. And so we should start doing pretty good here soon. Our commercial demand was kind of rising up. You can see it's already starting to build up, but I think this looks really good. If you guys are interested in watching me build out this area, go ahead and click on the video on your screen. And thank you so much for watching. I will catch you on the next episode.